Hey, Lorain County basketball fans, what's going on? Welcome back to another week of In the Paint, brought to you by our friends at First Federal Savings of Lorain. I'm your host, Rocco Nushi, with the one and only Kristen Bauer behind the camera. You see this thing in my hands right here. Not too late to pick up a forecast magazine. Stop by the Chronicle, Telegram, or the studios of WEOL while supplies last and pick up a copy of this forecast magazine. Team previews, schedules, everything you need to know right in this thing. And also, make sure you like and subscribe to that Chronicle, Telegram YouTube channel. That's the best way to stay up to date with all the latest content, video drops, and much more, all right there on that Chronicle Telegram YouTube channel. Again, like, subscribe, turn on those notifications. You can do it all right there on the CT YouTube channel. So what has happened this past week in the Lorain County basketball scene? Well, it was a wild Tuesday, to say the least, earlier this week, and I love this opening line from the one and only Marissa McNeese in the Chronicle Telegram. She was at that Keystone Clearview contest earlier this week where the Wildcats emerged victorious barely by 2 points, 64-62 the final score. But as Marissa said, it's going to be a slugfest in the Lorain County League this year, and yeah, no disagreements from me on that one. Let's start with the game that she covered, actually. Keystone at Clearview, and the Cats go into Clipper country and knock them off. 64-62 again was the final score. Big shout out to Connor Rodick, the quarterback for the football team, and he's doing a lot on the basketball court as well. How about 28 points for the young man, 9 assists, 8 rebounds. He also had the game-winning free throws with 14 seconds left to go, and that was in a 1-and-1 situation. So, of course, if you miss the front end, you don't get the second one. A little more pressure in those types of scenarios, but Connor stepped up and knocked down 2 really huge free throws to help the Cats win that ball game. Grant Hartley helping get the defensive stop after those free throws. So a big shout out to Coach Holzhauer and the Cats for that win. Jai Walton was the highest scoring man for Clearview. He had 15. Elsewhere in the Lorain County League, Brookside knocked off Oberlin 81-64 in a good one. How about a career high 35 points for Avery Young? I'll tell you what, this guard has had a tremendous start to the season so far. It seems like on a nightly basis, we're seeing 20 plus, 30 plus from Avery, just really getting the job done. And how about 20 points for sophomore Nolan Wechter? These two in the backcourt for Brookside, folks, they are dangerous, they can shoot, and they are a lot of fun to watch. They can certainly light up that scoreboard. So Young and Wechter, they combine for 55 as Brookside knocks off Oberlin 81-64. How about those Cards? Larry Babix has them 5-0 in conference play at the top of the Lorain County League. We'll take a look at those standings in just a second. Columbia knocks off Firelands 65-59. 3 Raiders finish in double figures. Vincent Berardi had a game-high 17. Nate Borling and Justin Smith each finished with 16. But it was the rebounding department where Columbia really had the edge. They were eating glass on Tuesday night, out-rebounding the Falcons 41-32. And finally, rounding out Lorain County League play on Tuesday night, it was Black River going to Wellington and knocking off the Dukes in dominating fashion, 71-44. When I say dominating, I mean they dominated Wellington, especially early on. Folks, they shut out Wellington 19-0 in the first quarter. So a big shout out to Black River. Again, historically not the most dominant basketball program in our area by any stretch, but certainly doing a good job so far early this season. And that was a very nice win for them over Wellington. Again, 71-44, the final score. Caden Hinderman-Powell, he had a team-high 22 points for Black River in that one. Ridge Martin, the sharpshooter, he finished with 17. And Eric Grosser, man, this kid just does it all. I'll tell you what, 12 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists for the Pirates in that win. And quickly, in the SWC, do got to give a shout-out to Midview, Amherst, and Avon. They all get wins on Tuesday night, but still Avon Lake, those Shoremen, are right at the top of those SWC standings. So in the Lorain County League, it looks like this from top to bottom. Brookside's your top spot right now. Columbia right on their heels, though. Keystone's at 3 with Oberlin at 4. Black River is 5th. Clearview 6th. Firelands in 7th. And Wellington bringing up the rear last in Lorain County League play right now. Elsewhere on Tuesday night, it was a big night for Elyria Catholic, both the girls and the boys, as they got busy over there on the corner of Gulf and Poplar. They got big wins over Westlake, both programs did. The boys get a huge 63-62 win over the Demons. Tony Grasso, the game-winning layup in the final seconds. I got to see the replay on Twitter. It was an amazing play by Tony on kind of a discombobulated possession. That was a discombobulated word. That was a discombobulated possession for Columbia, but for ECS. I should say, but Grasso saves the day with that game-winning layup. How about a game-high 21 points for Colin Ginley? Threw down a couple of dunks in that game as well. And then the EC girls, they avenged their only conference loss from last year, knocking off Westlake this time around 59-43. It was the usual suspects, folks. Isabel Niederst with 20 points, a team high and a game high in that contest. Carter McRae had 16. So before we take a look at what's coming up this week and weekend in terms of the Lorain County high school basketball scene, let's go to our college corner, where this week we go to Rock Hill, South Carolina, and former Lorain County Miss Basketball Allie Ross. She's a sophomore this year at Winthrop for the Lady Eagles, having a nice sophomore campaign so far, averaging over 6 points per game. All the way back in November, she had a team high 19 points in a win over St. Andrews. She was named player of the game coming off the bench in that one. So Allie Ross having a nice sophomore campaign for the Winthrop Lady Eagles. She's the focus of this week's College Corner. So what's there to look forward to in terms of high school basketball this week? Well, there's plenty of action. Columbia and Keystone. Those girls will meet up. It'll be a battle basically for the top spot for now in the Lorain County League. That should be a lot of fun. So we'll see how that one plays out between Columbia and Keystone. Both of their girls teams off to awesome starts here in 2022-2023. We'll also have the Columbia and Keystone boys game for you. That'll be on the airwaves of WEOL Friday night. We'll look to join that around 7 o'clock. Again, Friday night on WEOL, Columbia and Keystone boys. That'll be a really fun Lorain County League battle. And then Saturday, we got a doubleheader for you on WEOL. A good one in the SWC girls style at 1:30. Midview plays host to North Ridgeville. This is one that we had circled way back when we first got the team schedules, and we're kind of looking at, piecing together our broadcast schedule. This should be a good one between North Ridgeville and Midview. We'll see what Coach Amy Esser's team can do as they travel over to Midview country to take on Brittany McNamara Cole and her girls. And then at night, 7 o'clock on the boys docket, we'll have Oberlin at Elyria. That should be a really fun non-conference battle. Elyria's had a couple of those already early on this season, just fell to Lorain this past week in a good non-conference game. But they got another one this Friday night as they welcome in Oberlin. So that'll do it for this week. Again, a lot going on right now in the Lorain County high school basketball scene. The Lorain County League on the boys side, a really, really, tightly knit conference right now. All the top 5-6 teams, if I'm not mistaken, all separated by just 2 games. So very, very close in the standings. We'll see how that Lorain County League can maybe create some separation as the year starts to go on. So again, that will do it for this week. For Kristen Bauer behind the camera, I am your host, Rocco Nushi, saying thank you for watching In the Paint, brought to you by First Federal Savings of Lorain. We'll see you next week.